Are you recording? Do you want
I
to
am now.
introduce me? Oh my
No,
gosh,
I'll hand
okay.
it straight. I'll hand it straight over to you, babe. So it's recording now.
All right, excellent. Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. Thank you very much for joining us for this team training this evening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through building up your 2,500 building blocks, basically. And I've just taken a number. I've just plucked a number out of the air. It's 10,000, how to build your 10,000 QV. Can I just mute you all? Is that okay? Or if you have access to it, can you mute yourselves? Would you mind? Is that okay? Oh, you've done it. Ta-da! Magic. Well done, everyone. Excellent. Okay. So, yeah, so I'm just going to talk you through, I'm going to do a breakdown of how you can achieve 10,000 QV by doing your building block of 2,500. 2,500 is your building block. It's your is the requirement that you need is your basic requirement as a district manager. So I'm going to break down on how you can achieve that 2,500 because I think ultimately it sounds a little bit scary when you're quite used to just doing your 150 and just getting a few PC orders here and there. But when you start to develop your team, your point starts to grow and your team starts to grow and it all adds towards this 2,500. So I'm just going to show you a little breakdown. So our base for our building block of our business is vital to build and create a solid foundation of a successful business. So I thought we could do this with, I did it on Monday night and I used the audience. So it's going to be a bit difficult to do that tonight because obviously I haven't handed you anything. So I'm going to use my whiteboard. And I'm just going to show you how we can do this basically. So my first number one, my first two, can you all see that? Give me a nod, yeah? Excellent, fabulous. So 2,500, my first building block. So basically what I've done is I've gone out and I've sponsored my first direct. So my first direct, she's doing amazing, she's doing fantastic. She starts to gain more and more people into her team, starts sponsoring people, and she becomes a district manager because she starts doing her 2,500. So the way that I've broke this down for this particular direct is she's done this through doing one-to-ones, coffee meetups, friends from schools and playgroups, phoning her old choir friends, getting in touch with them, and her keep fit friends as well from her exercise classes. So it's just a breakdown of how you can talk to people, where you can meet these people, and how to get in contact with them. Another way of gaining QV is sample drop-offs. So to your neighbours, to your I put like your grandparents' friends, because with your grandparents' friends, your grandparents, they might be in their 90s or their 80s, they might not be particularly interested in the business side of things, but you know, they might have friends with grandchildren a similar age to you who might be interested in the business. So I think this is a really good way to kind of get out there. And all the older ladies, they love a little bit of pampering, so it's a really, really great way to get out there. Someone that I know who went around to the old people's homes and just offered like free pamper sessions for them, and it's just really nice because you know they might just buy a little foot cream or something, but it's just a really, really nice idea. So yeah, so I've just put that all my grand's friends all became PCs. Business launches, using your sponsor. Your sponsor is a tool, so always use your sponsor as much as you possibly can. Even though I'm an area manager level, I always use Jen no matter what. I'm constantly on it. If I don't hear from Jen, or if Jen doesn't hear from me for one day, I worry. And I think she probably worries as well if she doesn't hear anything from me. Yeah, she's nodding. Yeah. She thinks, what's up? So you just constantly stick to your sponsor like glue. And I'm always bouncing ideas off Jen, seeing what she thinks. For just extra ways of getting QV. I've also put that you read everything. So these are just all ways that you can just build up your 2,500. So just reading everything. And this one in particular, this first one, 2,500, has gained it by sponsoring 3 directs. So that's actually how I made it to district manager. I sponsored 3 directs. So that was me really as a person. So our first one with my whiteboard here. So we've got, you're going to see me writing upside down now. So our first one, number 1, 2,500. Okay, so this is district manager. So what the district manager does then is we've obviously sponsored 3 people here in the district who have then gone off, started sponsoring other people like this. So they've gone off and they've started sponsoring people and starting to build up their own teams. So each time everyone becomes a district manager, they need to do 2,500 points, okay? So the next person, number 2, which is this one here, number 2. So direct number 2. How many PCs did I have when I promoted to DM? 7, 10. Thanks, Jem. 10. I had 10 when I promoted to DM. Okay, so the next one, 2,500. Our next building block, our next sponsor who's gone off, who's also built up a team. They've done this by simply joining the local gym and running club. I mean, I've just put these down as examples. So I've put my best friend and his brother are amazing ICs. They both joined my team. DAs are very helpful, meet the product events. I read everything every day and I attend everything. PCs, my friends from the running club, they absolutely love the phytosport and can see the benefits of using pure, safe and beneficial products that actually work. And they've actually beaten their PBs all down to phytosport. That makes me feel very proud. That last one is actually true because I used Simon, my husband, as a guinea pig, and he wrote me a review. I just said to him, write me a review, would you mind? And he said he didn't mind at all. He said, what, even if it doesn't work? I said, yeah, just write me a review. And it did. He actually did. What did you do? What did you do, Simon, with your...
In a nutshell, I was running 10k at 8 minutes.
He was basically running 10k at 8 minutes.
45.
8 minute 45, which is, I think he shaved off 10 seconds off. So he took it down to 8 minutes 17 on average, which just by simply using the phytosport, which for Simon, he doesn't go out running every day. He goes out like a couple of times a week. And that might have been the last time he went out actually then. But that, for him to notice the difference like that, amazing. So you imagine what the actual proper athletes feel. It's really, really good. So that last one was actually true. It wasn't all purely made up. So that second one, building up the 2,500. So as you can see, they've now built up 2,500 here. So then within your network already, you've got 5,000 points straight away just by them developing their team and you sticking with your team and developing your team. So then our number 3 goes off and sponsors away. So this whole time you're sponsoring, you can see how your network starts to expand and starts to grow. So you've got the width with your directs, and then you've got the depth with the people that are coming off your directs as well, so your indirects. So number 3, building your 2,500. Here's my number 3. So how have I done this? Number 3. I love makeup. The Arbonne makeup is amazing. I simply wear the makeup and people comment on how good it is. I arrange makeup one-to-ones and offer fab pamper makeover parties around 4 a month, averaging 500 QV a party. I ask friends of friends to host for me. My friends have noticed a difference in me and have joined me in my Arbonne journey. They love the business concept and want what I have. So that's another brilliant building block for building QV. I mean, it's not, I suppose it's not doing the whole business route, it's doing a little bit of business and it's doing a little bit of direct selling as well, because I suppose you are still doing parties. But I have noticed a huge difference, absolutely huge difference within my network since we introduced pamper parties into our spreading the word basically. And the beauty about pamper parties is people can feel the products. They can see what they're like. They can feel how they go on their skin. They can feel, because our foundation, all our products, they don't clog up the skin, and a lot of other companies out there really do clog up the skin. So they can actually feel how light our products are and how good they are and how fantastic they are basically. So that's a really, really great way to build up QV. So I just use that as an example for this one. So it doesn't even matter if you're a makeup artist or not. I haven't got any makeup artist background. I don't make them up. The people at the guests, they do it all themselves. So they get to play with everything. And it is such a lovely, relaxed evening. So I really, really recommend those. And on average, everyone that I've done the most I've ever done in one night was 900 and something QV. And then the least amount that I think I've ever done is about 300 QV. So it's kind of in between really, but I normally work with 5 to 6 ladies. Any more and it just gets a bit confusing. And it's really quite nice. So that's another way that you can build up your QV. So that was just an example for that one. So that's another 2,500 there. So you can see as we're growing, we're getting there, we're getting close, we're getting very close to 10,000 QV. So our final one for 2,500 QV, our final one, so our third direct here, who's gone off and sponsored again. Here we go. Lots of people who they're sponsored. So number 4. How have I done this? So on this one, I've basically done a QV breakdown. So QV breakdown, 100 QV from me, 500 QV from Pamper Parties. I've done 2 this month. 3 new directs doing 150 QV. So that's in total so far 1,600. Then each of them signing up 2 new consultants or PCs doing 150 QV. That totals 2,500. So that's really easy done, because when people first start the business, you can go for the Strong Start program, and you can go for that, and you can really, it is really, really interesting actually seeing people do that, because it is just amazing, because it's just on fire and it's absolutely fantastic to see. So it's really, really good, a good way of building QV. It's a really good way of developing your team, and that was just a breakdown of that. I've put here that I met my new consultants at networking meetings, my local dance class, and my daughter's friends' parties. We discussed the business over coffee, bouncy castles, and lunch. So that's just another way that you can just talk about the business. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be every single person you speak to. It can be like in passing, in conversation. You know, you don't have to know them to talk to them. And I think it's really important to remember that in Eric Worre, in his book GoPro, he actually says that professional network marketing professionals, you are never exhaust the list. You're always constantly meeting people, and you should aim, if you're a professional, to write down at least 2 names a day on your active candidate list of people that you've met and either spoken to, or just people you have ideas that you can speak to people about the business. Not necessarily wanting them to do the business, but it's just another couple of names that you can put out there, really. So it's just constantly expanding your horizon, I suppose. You're constantly going for it, just getting those names out there. So yeah, you can see as we've built up, so direct, each district manager doing their 2,500, you can see how it is quite easy to get to 10,000 QV. And that's quite similar to the way that I did it. One of my directs, one of the my sponsor not my direct sponsor, has purely got to district manager and completed basically on sales and preferred clients, which is amazing. It's absolutely amazing how everyone has their own spin on the business, and how they all do it differently. It just goes to show that we are all independent consultants. We are all doing the business, and we're all doing it our own way. And what works for one works for others. What works generally, we have a system that we follow, but sometimes other things work differently for other people. So that's kind of my breakdown on how to do the 10,000 QV. I think it's really important to keep things simple. Don't try and overcomplicate things, and kind of think outside the box as well. Because I think we all go through times when we're thinking, oh God, I've spoken to everyone that I know. What am I going to do? Who am I going to speak to next? And it happens. It happens. And I thought this not so long ago. And then you just put it out there to the universe, and you just keep saying to yourself, you know, I'm successful, I'm going to do this is my business, I'm going to continue it. You just keep thinking positive. And it's like today I got a little message for the first time ever, and I didn't believe that this happened, but I got a message in my inbox today asking me about Arbonne. They want to hear all about it. Don't you do Arbonne? Are you coming round and tell me all about it? So I did. And it's just amazing how it just all of a sudden it turns into as they say, a little lipstick business, and it turns into something so much more. It's so much bigger than that. It really, really is. And it's like when you do your goals are as big as your dreams are as big as your goals. Dream big, dream hugely big, because if you're going to be going for your goals, you need to be able to dream, and to achieve those goals, you've got to have the dream behind it, and that's what's going to give you your driving force, by dreaming. So I think that's really important. What have I written here? I can't understand my writing when I write really quick. So yeah, so it's really important when we do sponsor someone that you duplicate. Duplication is so, so important in this business, because if you tell this first one absolutely everything that you know, all your knowledge, you tell them everything, then they can pass that knowledge on to their sponsors, and they can go on and tell them, and then they can go off and tell their people, and then so on and so forth. They can keep going down the line. Okay. It's really, really important that you duplicate, so you tell them absolutely everything. And if you're not sure, you ask your sponsor. And if they're not sure, then they can ask the person above you. That's really, really important. That is how this business works. That is the system that we have got in place. And it's, when I talked earlier about everyone has different ideas and new concepts and things, it's really important that you continue the system, that you don't you don't have to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. You can keep doing the same system, but you can just have your own little kind of spin on it, basically. So yeah, it's really important. Duplication is really, really important, and I think that's what's really helped with my team. I hope it's helped. I say that. So yeah, so duplicate, and teaching as well. So we are teachers at the end of the day. We're not hunters. We're not getting people. We are introducing people to an amazing business concept that has the ability to change someone's life. And it's huge. At the end of the day, it's an absolutely huge, amazing concept that works. And I can really see it starting to work. Well, I've seen it work, but for myself personally now, it's really, really working. And I have gone from a little bit of in my free time business to this is full on now. This is my business. I'm earning more money now than I do in my actual job. So this is where it's kind of getting like really serious for me now, and it's all down to QV. It's all down to those little points at the end of the day. So I think I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop rambling on. Is that all right? Is that okay? You can unmute. Do you want to all unmute? Was that okay? Is that what you wanted?
No, that was perfect, Kelly. Thank you so much. Honestly, your training at the region training was really good. It was just because of the recording, it was quite unclear at times. Like you actually got quite a good like 5 minutes where it wasn't cutting out. But I just wanted to give the girls that didn't manage to get on as well the opportunity to hear you again, because I took a lot from it, so I knew that they would. So thank you for me, Kelly, and doing that. And I hope that everyone got it. So I'm just going to stop recording, and then if everyone wants to take themselves off mute and ask Kelly any questions, is that all right?
Yeah.
Stop recording.